Hello and welcome back to my Gold Award series. Today we are going to be talking about filling out your project proposal. Woo! Keep in mind this video is here assuming that you already have a gold account. So if you haven't made one, you definitely need to get started on that because that is important, because this is how you'll be getting all of your official document type stuff done and submitting your proposal and then submitting your final report. So it's just a really important thing to have. What you'll first notice when you get into the website is that there are these two main boxes up here, and although these are optional, I would highly recommend that you do them, because basically what these are things that help you hone in what your issue is really about, and it kind of is like a Pinterest board almost, helping you kind of put your ideas together. Now this part here, which is creating your plan, is where things really get into the nitty-gritty of your project. And although it may seem like, oh, I can just kind of put a couple of sentences in here and I'll be good to go, you really want to dive into it, because the way that your proposal itself is being created is by whatever you put into here, the program will output into how it's going to be formatted for your proposals. And here is my document proposal. As you can see, that is my troop leader Claudia, who signed right there. And so everything that you wrote down in your proposal plan is going to be just output right here. This is just so you can kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like on your proposal sheet. So really kind of digging into the idea that you want to be really thorough with your answers and everything that you're going to be putting down in here. Okay, so now that we've talked about what the proposal will look like when it's put together, I'm going to just quickly walk you through what the 10 slides are that are going to be written for the part of your proposal, because it says that there's 21 slides and that looks like a lot, but you really only need to fill out 10. And I mean 10 as in written slides, because there will be slides where you'll have to click specific things, sort of like how it was for when you were creating your project plan. Okay, let's quickly go through these slides. Number 1, your description. This includes your Gold Award title and then your proposed start and end date. Number 2, your issue slide. Here it says clearly describe your issue and share your reasons you selected your project. So you're gonna put clearly why you described your issue, and really put a lot of good thought, and then talk about your reasons below. Number 3, your root cause. This slide is going to need you to do some critical thinking, because you're really going to have to think, I really wonder why this issue exists. And then it's really important that you keep that root cause in mind the entire time. Number 4, your target audience. This is talking about what is your main audience for this award. And you're going to need to talk about what are the skills and attitudes that your audience is going to gain. So for me, since I'm making garden lessons, I put that my main audience would be elementary school children between the grades of K through 5. And then I listed everything that I really wanted them to be able to learn after the lessons were completed. Number 5, global. How are you going to make your plan global and known throughout the world? Typically, the best way to do this is to have your project be uploaded in some form of media that can be viewed around the world. And this 6th slide sort of ties in with your target audience slide, because you need to talk about what your audience will gain, and you want to talk about how you're going to be able to test this and see what they learned. And then number 7 is talking about how is your project going to be sustained. And yet again, this is another slide where you're really going to need to think critically and think long term. Try and focus on people or programs that you will be able to establish that will be able to continue your Gold Award for years to come. Here we get to the 8th, and in my opinion, the longest slide, because you have to create an entire plan with all of your hours, and it creates a general frame and outline of how long you think it's going to take your project to be completed. And if I have any advice for this slide, it's that you definitely want to give yourself a lot more wiggle room, because in the beginning you'll be like, oh, I'm super excited to get this started and complete my project, but obviously I thought I would have completed this project by September of 2021, and it is currently 2022 if you are watching this video. So I definitely overestimated how much time it would take for me to get this done. Number 9 is your estimated expenses. You're just gonna put your estimated expense. If I were to leave you with any more advice on filling out your proposal, when it comes to your expenses, please do not just half-heart the effort, because obviously $8 was not what the total expenses would be. And then finally, number 10 is where you're gonna list all of your strengths and talents. What helped me to fill these out was that I thought about what skills that I'd previously used on school projects. Like for instance, I knew that I could make videos and I knew how to take pictures. So those were some talents that I already had before I started this project. But because I get to use them in my project, I am learning and developing them a lot more. And once your project proposal does get completed, it is very important to make sure that you have not one, not two, but multiple people that you trust to look over your proposal and make sure that it's good to go. I'm talking your Girl Scout troop leader, your parents, your project advisor, your Girl Scout troop members, just to make sure that you get multiple perspectives on seeing if this project is fully fleshed out and ready to be sent to council. Keep in mind that your troop leader will need to sign off on your project proposal, so they're gonna have to see it anyways. So that's pretty much it for this video on filling out your proposal and sending it to council. And I hope that this helped make the process a little bit less daunting, let's say, because 21 slides seems like a lot, but breaking it down into 10 different slides made it a lot more digestible for me.